If people could only see the reaction on JB's face when Sherry came on the screen before we pressed the recording. JB, introduce our guest.
Yeah, well, as you can see, welcome everyone to the Female Bodybuilding channel, and we have Mrs. Sherry Priyami. Welcome.
Thanks for having me again, guys. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Rising Phoenix is this weekend, Sherry.
4 more days.
Yeah. Are we excited?
I'm super excited. Yes, this is an awesome show to be able to be a part of. And yeah, I just felt honored to be able to be there. They're really giving us like top treatment. The resort looks amazing. The whole weekend's just going to be awesome. I'm really excited.
Do they bring you girls out? Like, do they take care of travels and things like this?
They take more. They give us more than the Olympia does. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they pay for our tanning, our hair, our makeup, our flights, our hotel. They give us per diem, everything. Yeah. Free photo shoot the next day. Yeah. So it's going to be great. Be a great weekend.
Oh, wow. That's good. We talked to Virginia Sanchez. She said they were taking care of her flights, but we weren't sure if that was for everyone or just her, you know?
Yeah, no, everyone. And the resort looks, very, very high end. They're all suites with, living rooms and bedrooms. And so plenty of space, for the weekend. And, like the Olympia doesn't cover our hair and our makeup and tanning, and that stuff adds up. So to have them cover those fees for us as well is very appreciated.
Great.
Rising Phoenix is this weekend. Last year, you weren't there. This year, full year as a women's bodybuilder, you came in, Vancouver Pro, perfect score win, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You switched coach since then, and we've seen some crazy update pictures. JB, when you see Sherry's update pictures, how are you feeling then? What's the reaction you get?
Well, my reaction was just, ooh. It was great. You know, Sherry, I always always a fan, and yeah, but I think the new connection to Stefan Kienzler is very good. So
yeah, it was a great choice for me. He's been amazing, really easy to work with, and just really knows what he's doing. And this prep, I have felt the best that I've ever felt in any prep. And to be honest, this is the best I've looked going into peak week ever. So everything is just smooth sailing. It's been really great. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what it looks like when, he has me ready for the stage.
Great.
This Rising Phoenix, of course, we have Angie and Andrea, who was top 2 in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The girls that's won the show without losing a show, it's just you, Christina, and Michaela. Is that correct?
I think so.
And Roshana. The master show. So what's your mindset knowing it's very few girls that has done what you've done this year, and especially it's very few girls that's proven to deliver condition. So what's the mindset, expectation, goals?
The mindset for me is that I think I'm going to place well. I know I'm going to do well. This conditioning is the best I've been. Of course, I wish I was bigger. We always wish we were bigger. Yes. But, I've maximized what I can with the time I had. Yeah. And I'm bringing the best me this time. And so, the pieces will fall where they will, but I'm definitely in for the fight. And I expect, a good outcome for myself.
Are we making the top 3?
That's my goal for sure. Yes. That's what I'm aiming for. Yes. Yeah. But, this is bodybuilding. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know what the judges are going to look for. But I know no matter where I place, it's the best me that I can possibly bring. So that's all I can do.
There was one time after the judging at Rising Phoenix, me and JB boycotted the whole the whole channel for a month because we were so disgusted. You are very correctly. Anything can happen in women's bodybuilding judging. This is for sure. That's anything goes.
There's such a different look. You've got Angie and Michaela and myself, who are, shorter, smaller, but come real conditioned, and then you have, the girls that are a bit larger in size that, have fuller, rounder muscle bellies, but their conditioning isn't, really is good. Not saying that one look is better than the other. It's just going to be personal preference, and you just never know how someone's going to peak and show up on the day of the show. So it could go.
How much did you weigh at Vancouver?
Vancouver, I was, I think, 148 on stage.
And now you are?
I was 144 this morning.
Oh, okay.
So but I'm really depleted right now.
So you'll be probably around the same when you fill up, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for 150. Maybe that's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
But the body's changed. You improved some body parts, correct?
Yes. My hamstrings have definitely come up. My quads are up. My shoulders are up. Yeah. And I feel like I'm about the same size I was for Vancouver, but I'm leaner. So I know I put on some tissue.
We look out for that.
Yeah.
Two quick questions. One is, how does it feel knowing you were a women's physique girl 2 years ago, not in the top 8 at women's physique in the world, but now 2 years after that, and I don't want to say your age, but in your age, that now you're heading into rising as one of the top 4, 5th athletes in the whole world, in the world's toughest class. How does that feel?
It feels great. It feels great to know that the hard work is paying off. It feels great to know that I made that change in divisions and it was the right choice to make. I was really apprehensive about it at first, and my previous coach, pushed me in that direction, and I wasn't sure it was the right move, but I know now that it was. And I'm really excited to know that I've got a place to continue to grow into. I think if I would have stayed in physique, even though the girls are much larger than they have been in the past, I just don't think that my shape and my size would have fared as well in that division. So I'm glad I made the switch.
Your top 5, you are in it. Just out of your mind, we asked Roshana her top 5. What's your top 5?
For the rising?
Yes, of course.
Oh man, it's tough. Of course I'm going to say Andrea. What's going on? Is Christina in it or no?
Christina, Melissa, and Virginia are in. We got them confirmed. There's just something wrong with the list.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought, man, there's no way these 3 dropped out. So my prediction for the top 5, of course I'm going to put myself in the mix. Andrea, Nicole, Christina, Nicole, Angie, Michaela.
That's the top 5. Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
JB, that's pretty. That's a list, JB, you could agree on, couldn't you?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. But one thing before we go, Sherry, how can JB and myself get so white teeth as you? We notice your teeth are like, what is going on? JB, have you seen her teeth? How is this possible? What?
Do you know I'm a dental hygienist. Yeah. That's what I'm at work today. I'm on my lunch break sitting in my car. So, I bleach my teeth. I whiten my teeth. It's part of the profession.
I think, JB, we should start with this. This is very impressive. Before we go, Sherry, how can we flex? How can we flex in the car for the people?
Oh, my gosh. I don't know. Maybe I can do like a bicep. Let me hold on.
JB.
Ooh.
It's not very impressive with my scrubs on.
And notice, JB, notice the conditioning in the upper pecs. Do you see it?
Yeah, yes. Great. So dry. Wow.
What's the people saying when you show up like this and you say, open your mouth, and they're laying there and they're looking into your chest? What are people saying?
I wear a jacket when I'm working, so they don't get to see all this beautiful veins and vascularity.
Something. Yeah. Do you have a nickname before we go?
I don't have a nickname. I was just talking to my posing coach about that because she wants me to make up shirts for the Olympia, and she's like, you need a nickname. I'm like, well, I can't give myself a nickname. Like, I don't, I don't have a nickname.
What about this nickname? We got it from your number one fan. Let me just... Sherry, what did he say? I can't remember. It's too much. Your fan is going absolutely crazy. I can't remember it. I can't remember. We'll send it to you on DM and let's see if you can. What is it? Sherry? I can't remember. Sensational Sherry, maybe?
I've heard people call me Sensational Sherry before. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
The only problem is the person who had it is dead. It's a wrestler. It's a famous JB, Sensational Sherry, correct? It's a wrestler.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, anyway.
Well, but if she's dead, I can take over the title, right?
There you go. There you go. Anyway, JB, say good luck to Sherry before we go.
Say good luck. Of course.
Thank you.
Of course, Sherry. The best of all luck and very much fun in Arizona, right? And on stage, you keep rocking.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good
I
luck.
appreciate you guys, and everything that you do for us and putting us out there. So I'm excited, and you guys will be the first to know how everything goes.
Your husband, he's there, correct?
He's going to be with me. Yeah, he'll be there. I leave on Thursday morning. He'll be there Friday.
Oh, he's going to be excited, huh?
Yeah, he really is. He's more excited than I am, I think.
I think so too. As he should be. Okay, safe trip, and we will be watching on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
JB, introduce our guest. Let me hear you introduce her. And remember everything she just did now. Let me hear it.
I'm not prepared. Welcome everyone to the Female Bodybuilding channel, and we have Miss Master Olympia, Roshana Boswell. Welcome.
This is three-time Olympian now, correct? Or
five
times.
This will be the fifth one. Yeah.
But you did women's physique first, correct? We can't hear you. Your sound. Can you hear us?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the first one was women's physique, correct?
I was going to say, yep. First one was 2019. So this will be the fifth one. So it's been, 5 in a row. 2019 was the first one in women's physique. Yep.
This is Rising Phoenix week. But before we jump into that, Roshana, quickly, how does it feel to be Master Miss Olympia?
It feels amazing. It's been a lot. It's definitely been a roller coaster. From that, just going right into this and going into the Olympia, just been nonstop in the interviews and things. It's fun, but coach has definitely been on me.
The best week of women's bodybuilding is here. Well, Miss Olympia week is also very good, but this is a close second.
Yes.
Roshana, how are you feeling? You've been traveling, you've been competing. Is the focus on Rising Phoenix now?
It is, and I'm and just being in constant contact with my coach. We're doing daily check-ins. We've been doing daily check-ins for the last 10 days. We've already surpassed my look for Romania, so we're good there. He's happy with that. So we're definitely going to be tighter than I was in Romania, and that's the goal. Waist is a little bit smaller. My weight is holding. So we're still at about 168, 169 right now. So yeah, once we carb up and start to dry out, yeah. So I feel pretty good.
For people who doesn't know about Rising Phoenix, for new fans, what's so special about Rising Phoenix for you, Roshana?
I mean, it was really all we had when the Olympia was taken away. Jake brought the Rising Phoenix, and that was that's why it's an invitational for the female bodybuilders only, because this was all we had. So it had to be some kind of criteria for us to get there. You couldn't just be willy-nilly anyone that wanted to show up. We didn't have a lot of options. So Rising Phoenix came along, and it's really the best of the best outside of the Olympia, So it's a huge show. It's kind of the precursor to the Olympia, if you ask me. So yeah, and the prize money's there too. So
it's not JB Rising Phoenix. JB, is that you're excited about that week always, aren't you, JB?
It's always.
I mean, it's fun too, though. Yeah, it's just. I mean, it's awesome. It's all the women, the female show too. So it's like everyone's there. It's huge.
Yeah.
What is the prize money for top 5? I think it is. Do you know? It's the winner we know is 50,000 in the car, but how's the second, third, fourth, and fifth there?
Second is 25, third is 12, fourth is 75, I believe, and I think fifth is 4,000. So yeah.
And that's obviously in women's bodybuilding, and actually every other class than open bodybuilding, the prize money is very low. So this, you just won $10,000 quickly. Did that feel good after winning all those $2,000 shows? Like when you get 10,000, is it a little bit more exciting?
It is a little bit more exciting because and I mean, the 3 shows here, these are the 3 highest payouts, right? And it was, so for me, it was like, oh, 10,000, that's the highest we've gotten in women's bodybuilding. And that's like a huge payout for me. But then you turn around and you look at the male winner who got 20,000. So it's still like, right, you know, so one of those, but it's like, hey, I'll take my 10. And especially in comparison to the other shows, yeah, for sure.
Rising Phoenix, of course. Let me ask, how does one athlete go in when you know Andrea Shaw hasn't lost a point in 7 years? And remember, JB,
yeah.
who was the closest to beat Andrea Shaw the last 3 years?
The last 3 years. It's so personal. It's so personal.
It was Roshana at the Omaha Pro. Correct, Roshana, wasn't it?
And you know what? It was funny because that was Omaha was my women's bodybuilding debut, and that was when I took second to Andrea. That was right. She hasn't lost, but that was like my time going toe to toe with her. So that was that was pretty awesome. Yeah,
that was quite. Remember that was Omaha Pro, and it was wasn't it a 2-woman call out?
Yeah, it was. Yep,
yes,
it was me and her. Yep,
and it was Roshana and Andrea Shaw. So now, how's the mindset when you know Roshana hasn't lost, Andrea Shaw hasn't lost? Like, what's the mindset like versus Andrea Shaw?
You know, I think like for me personally, I mean, I think she's amazing. You know, like she has the complete package. I think going into, but at the same time, I think anyone can be beaten, right? At some point, everyone gets beat. So it's whether it's this year, whether it's 2 years from now, at some point, everyone loses, you know, and that's all the greats. That's just how that goes. So I think in terms of mindset, you go in bringing the best possible package that you can. And for me, I think that's what I've really learned over the years. I respectfully don't care who else shows up. I just don't. You know, I'm so focused on me and the package that I bring and making sure that I'm conditioned and that I'm lean enough and that the look that I present is my best look, you know, and that's all I can do. You know, I bring certain things to the stage that other people don't, and vice versa. So, you know, you can beat me on most things, but shape and waist won't be one of them, you know. So that's kind of how I feel.
We can't
wait.
wait.
JB, have you seen Roshana live, JB?
Not yet.
No. So for people who haven't seen Roshana, like the modern day bodybuilding right now, both open men and women, it's you got to have round muscle bellies. You got to have like the clean, what can I say, healthier look. And this goes for both divisions.
Yeah.
And the midsection is the main focus. You see that in the men. There's no bloated stomachs there at all anymore. And also in women's bodybuilding, they don't want to see that grainy condition that much. That's not the winning look unless there's no one else there. And Roshana, you are you exactly what I've just discussed is what you have. Is this correct?
Yes. And I think for me, as long as I can present it on stage and present the confidence on stage, I can stand next to anyone, and I believe that, and I know that. So that's where I'm at. That's where my head's at. And it's one of those things too. I think it's definitely a mass versus shape versus symmetry. And yes, you know, in women's bodybuilding, you want that mass, but not at the sacrifice of, you know, your midsection or looking, you know, it's great to have extra mass, but not if you're on stage looking 6 months pregnant and can't control your midsection. That's not the look. It's just not. So, and not if we want women's bodybuilding to stick around again. So
give me where will you place? Where do you see yourself obviously winning, but give me your top 4. You're in it. but give me your top 4. How you see this one show?
I definitely say I'm in the top 5 for sure. I want first call outs. We're slowly getting there. I mean, I took 9th last year. So I would say, me, obviously Andrea, Angela, Mayla, myself, and then probably ACOC, Michaela. I think Michaela will be in there just because she's so conditioned. But Mayla's shape is probably unmatched. So
Well, that's a good top 5. That's a good top 5. I don't. We have to. Yes. We that's good. That's JB. Do you agree with the top 5?
Yes.
Oh, what's her name? Sherry Priam is not gonna like this,
I know,
and definitely not Christina Nicole. She's definitely not gonna like
I
this.
love Sherry to death. She looks at me. I've seen some updates, and she's crazy lean. So
it's a great mix this weekend. It's a great mix. So.
And I always laugh because I'm like, I'm never the leanest on stage, but I'm always like, I'm conditioned. I'm not the leanest, but that's not genetically. That's just not where I'm at. But that's fine. So we work with what you got. Yeah. But I think this is going to be a very interesting show. Yes,
that's true. You said it.
It's really exciting show, and we can't wait for this weekend. You go to Wings of Strength Instagram, click on it, and then you go into the link of the stream. But this is all the best girls in the world are coming.
Yeah.
Like you said, we can't even predict the top 5 because there's at least 8, 9 girls.
It's true.
That's the level at this show. And before we go, Roshana, let's see some flexing now. We're peaking now. Come on, let's see something.
Coach said I wasn't supposed to show anything, so here we go.
Of course, baby. You see the roundness.
There we go.
Yeah.
Waist is still small.
Wow, JB, we're excited. Thank you very much, Roshana, and we will be looking at the stream. And last thing, give us a hint. What's the posing song for this Saturday?
I can't tell you that. We're keeping. I tweaked the routine. The songs stay the same. I'm flying out right after Rising Phoenix to go meet with Veronica to work on our Olympia routine, and that song is Jericho. So, we're gonna. So that one I have to go fly out to learn. So I'm not doing too much right now. Just kind of just tighten things up a little bit so that and have a good package there and really bring it for the Olympia. So.
Is there a package award thing? Last thing, is it like this? Is it like last year they have these introduction awards and most muscular award? Is there like this?
I think the most muscular. They're not doing the video award thing that they did last year. I'm pretty sure it's best poser, and then they'll do like the most muscular award still for Rising Phoenix. Yeah.
Safe trip, and we will be watching on Saturday. And good luck.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome everyone to the Female Bodybuilding channel, and we are very proud to have Miss Posing Queen, Janine Lancaster. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Thank you.
And for people, we've seen a lot of people claiming to be the posing queen and posing experts, and all these newcomers that we just done 1 or 2 shows. We don't want to mention any names, but Janine, the original one, correct?
Correct. Yes. I have over 20 plus best posing awards.
Wow.
So the most in the female or male bodybuilding world. So
There you go.
I'm very honored and blessed to have that, and I take that really to pride.
How did you get so passionate early on with posing? Just what inspired you to take it so serious?
I think it's because your body can tell a lot of expression, right? So when you're going through a prep too, there's a lot of emotions that go through, and everybody has a story. And I always like to tell a story and bring the audience in to kind of understand how we are as people and not just pose like a robot. You see a lot of people pose as robots and they say they're fluent, but they're really not. You kind of get snoozed, right? Like you'll be at the show. I mean, I think we've all done this.
Yeah.
And you kind of doze off because there's no excitement. There's nothing. You want to bring the crowd into what you're doing. And I started young. I mean, I was a gymnast for Team Canada, and I did ballet and tap, jazz, all that good stuff. So kind of implemented with what I do, and everything, all the tools in my toolbox actually work together in the sport of bodybuilding. So
Rising Phoenix is the show fans of women's bodybuilding is most excited about with the Miss Olympia contest every year? First of all, why aren't you on stage this year at the Rising Phoenix?
Okay, so I took the season off this year. I had some injuries I had to heal. I actually got it's a very bizarre incident. I was at Walmart looking for a vacuum for my nonprofit, and I got hit on the head, on the top of my head with a football.
Wow.
And so I have 5 herniated discs in my neck right now that I'm trying to heal. So I had to take time to heal to come back next year stronger. So that's why I've been off on the distance, working on other things and helping athletes, you know, step on stage and pose right and working on a lot of other things on the back end while I'm healing. So that's why
the recovery going?
It's a long process, but I'm better than I was. It's just dealing with headaches 24/7 is just not something that's fun.
Wow.
When you go days without sleeping because the pain is so bad, but I just kind of keep going with it. You know, I'm an athlete. I'm born and raised to be an athlete. I just kind of plug through. So I try not to let it stop me in any way, shape, or form.
You go days without sleeping?
Yeah. So I had 3 days last week that I couldn't sleep. Every time I laid down, it was spinning, headache, nausea, like all that kind of stuff that goes with it. So it's just, you just struggle. So I sit up on the sofa a lot and just kind of lean to rest. So I finally got some good sleep the last 2 days. So
this was very depressing, saddened to hear, because this sounds much worse than me and JB expected. Hopefully we can get a follow-up how you're going in a couple of months, because this is more serious, and then this is not good. JB, in Romania, I met this big guy, what's his name? Josh Lenartovich. He had the same thing. He doesn't sleep in his head, and he did not make a successful comment. Well, anyway, we don't want to.
It's all gonna be good. I physio every day. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm taking care of it. So it happened on Super Bowl Sunday, believe it or not.
Rising Phoenix. We're gonna talk quickly about the names.
Okay.
Tina Williams. JB, as we know, great back. Janine, can we see her in condition?
I think so. She switched coaches and she's really focused. And I think too, because she's only doing this one show, it gave her more time. So I'm really excited to see what she's going to come in at this year, because she's had more time. When you're doing so many shows, sometimes and not having that rest, the body then holds that stress, right? So then we don't get that good caliper of athlete. So I'm excited to see what she's going to bring to the table.
So she switched from Alina Popa to John Simmons, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. LaDawn, we're gonna go through JB quickly, maybe out. We don't want to say outside the top 10. We're gonna look at the top 6 a little bit more in depth later. LaDawn McDay, you had some great battles with her. She won shows. JB, LaDawn McDay.
Yep.
Beautiful aesthetics. And what do you like about LaDawn, Janine?
She was gone for a year, I think, off stage.
Mm-hmm.
So I only saw her briefly in one of the shows this year. She brought up some body parts, but it's just about coming in condition, right? Like it's about coming in dialed in and not kind of doing it halfway, you know? So it's the dial in part. I think that's everyone's going to have to really nail on this year.
Mm-hmm.
JB, LaDawn, for me, she doesn't bring that super conditioning. So that means she kind of needs some extra size to be able to hang in this group, because she got beautiful muscle bellies, but the girls are improving. JB, does LaDawn need a little bit more size if she's going to keep bringing the same condition all the time?
I think so too, yeah, because she's she's a beauty, but it's not enough to be on Rising Phoenix this weekend. So she has to come with a little more, density.
Renee Marvin, a long-time competitor before she came back. Janine, this is a big privilege to come straight into Rising Phoenix after being away so long.
Yes, it is. And I'm proud of her because I've known her for many years.
Mm.
She looked very good in, I believe it was New York.
Mm.
She got an impressive 3rd place over there, yeah.
She did great in New York. And she's changed her physique a lot. She did a lot of different things in between bodybuilding. Mm. So I'm excited to see what she comes in. She just got to dial it in and make sure that waist is really small too.
Yeah.
Did you like the return, JB? You were so excited when you see your name in New York. You were having a flashback to the 90s.
Yes, it was.
Did you enjoy the comeback?
Yeah, definitely. I was very surprised that she's announcing it, and then she came back and was from 1 to 200 miles per hour was great. Yeah, so great.
Taylor Iraqi, straight from wellness to women's bodybuilding in a year, I believe. She's been around for a long time in different classes. Taylor Iraqi, are you familiar with her, Janine?
No, I have honestly have never heard of her name. So I won't be able to put my 2 cents in.
One question about, no, she won the Miss International, JB. That's why she's here.
Yeah.
So she wasn't given an invite like some of the others. So she's one of them, JB. A very beautiful look. What can we say? Kind of wellness, kind of women's bodybuilding, correct, JB?
Yeah, it's kind of in between, but she made a lot of improvements in our upper body the last half year. So she's gonna be making good impression on stage. But I think
Here,
top 10.
we have a wild card. JB and myself are very biased against this one. So let's see, Janine. Julia Fourie. She competes at around 190 pounds.
I think that's way too big, honestly.
Yeah.
So I mean, once you go too big, now can you swear on here? Now you've kind of like fucked up your symmetry when you go too big. The balance.
Did you see her at, what was the last show, JB? Quickly, it was just happened.
Romania?
She just competed in Spain.
Yeah.
Did you see her on stage, Janine?
I saw some of the photos. It looked like she was tighter than she was before.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly, yeah.
It's hard to tell when some muscle is, when you get too big, it's hard to bring in that awesome conditioning. It really is.
How much can change? You have 2 weeks and you're also flying from a different continent to America. You don't have your own hotel. You live in a hotel or whatever. How much can change, Janine? Can you really dial it in 2 weeks? Is that possible?
Well, you can if you step off stage and start dieting hard right out the gate, right? So can things change in 2 weeks? Yes, they can if you're really consistent on it and your focus is what it is, right? With the flight and stuff like that, some people don't do well with flying. I can't remember how she does well with travel. Some athletes are really not good with travel. Others can handle anything.
Yeah.
Right. So it'll be interesting to see how she pulls that in, because she needed to come in even tighter yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Chelsea Dion, she did not bring her best look in Spain, but she won anyway. We've seen her tighter. She's got to come hungry to bring her best look for this show.
Yeah, that was definitely not her best look. She's got to come in way harder and a little bit more drier for her size, because she's not really overly big, and she shouldn't go any bigger because then it will take away from her symmetry. She's got beautiful lines, very, very pretty girl. It's just bringing it in. You got to dial it in. So it's got to be a lot of sacrifice in this next little bit.
Yeah.
Does it become easier to? She's only 31. She just turned pro. Very impressed. JB, aren't you impressed with Chelsea with such a short time, JB?
Yeah, this is incredible. So much determination and then straightforward and no break. So great. Yeah.
When did you learn that conditioning? Does it get easier when you get older, Janine, or if you don't have it when you're young, you're never going to get it?
I think it gets better as you get older as well. Like, I mean, it's kind of like a catch-22. If you have a lot of muscle, it's hard to really, really get in condition, right? Like when you have dense muscle, it's really hard to get in condition. That means the prep has to be much longer. There is no such thing as a freaking 12-week prep. I don't care what anybody says. You need to have longer, like 20 weeks or so. So that if things happen, you can pick it up and fix it. But as you're young, if you don't have a lot of muscle, it's easy to get in condition. But as soon as you add in more muscle, it becomes a little bit harder. So depending too on again, how hungry somebody is, right? If someone's hungry and wants to sacrifice, they're gonna they're going to make it go a little bit farther. So I think it really comes down, honestly, to the athlete, not so much about the age. It comes down to how bad they want something.
On Julia or on Chelsea, who wins, Janine?
Proud. I hate doing this. Why do you put me on the spot?
We have to have some drama, some clickbait.
Maybe I think Chelsea, if she can bring it in.
Leah Denny, JB, what an up and down athlete. All of a sudden, top 5 in the world in 2022, 2021 at Rising. Top 5 guys and girls. Top 5 to out of the top 6 at the Master Show in Romania. I was there. Leah Denny, what can she change for Rising, Janine?
Oh, she just has to come in tighter. That was just honestly a food mix-up. When I sat down and talked to her and found out what really happened, she thought it was a different type of biscuit over there that she was doing to help fill her out. Oops. I don't know what that was. But what happened was it was a fiber. So when you put fiber in somebody and have no water, add water, the body then holds water and all this other stuff comes. So I believe that problem is now totally fixed and we'll be able to see her come in a good condition. She's hungry, definitely hungry. I also fixed her posing too, just recently to bring it in to fix her physique more as well. So I think she's going to do well.
And JB, how many other 54-year-olds have you seen you watch more women's bodybuilding than anyone. Have you seen any more impressive 54-year-olds before? Because 54, bro.
Yeah. Not many. Can
you name 2 similar level?
Yeah. Now you have me, but Leah Denny is one of them. So great. And I was stunned in 2019 when I met her first in person in Romania. So I said, "Ooh, hello!" So it was stunning. And it's stunning.
Nikki Chartrand, she just placed 2nd in her comeback show. She places very high actually in the shows she's doing. It's a little bit not on everyone's radar to place that high, but usually before, at least in these smaller types of shows, she's always there. Did we see the progress we wanted to see in the return, Janine?
Yeah, I think she's done some work on everything. I think her whole body structure has she's changed it and improved it. The rest did her good. And if she brings it in tight, then that's going to make, that's going to be up probably between Chelsea, because look at the body types, right? Her and Chelsea kind of have that same kind of body structure, right? Yeah. So it might be a battle between those 2. So wherever one. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you look at the body structures, because honestly, the Rising Phoenix has tons of different body structures up there.
Yes.
Short, you've got big, you've got like all different types. But if they kind of group them in, sometimes they do that. If they group them in, I think that would be a group together, right? Because it's kind of the same. They're tall, their feminine soft look, the way how their bodies shape.
Yep.
Those would be 2 that I would kind of clump together if they're going to do that kind of thing.
Before we go through, we were supposed to do short, but we're doing a little bit longer. Janine, I have to tell you, we have had a lot of girls on to break down shows, but finally we have met someone that pays close attention to every little detail, just like us. JB, Janine knows her stuff. Is this correct, JB?
Yeah, I never doubted it.
Yeah, but she's sometimes, Janine, we get these girls on, they don't even watch the sport. So we were just like, yeah. But you are watching, fantastic. Hopefully,
and I stay quiet until I need to.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. Gina also very good. JB, Gina Cavallero, to talk bodybuilding. Roshana Boswell, she's one of the most bubblier girls, the most beautiful abs any person can ever want. She just won the Master Olympia. What's her confidence? We've had her on, Janine, but what do you think is in the confidence of Roshana? And also, if you win the Master Olympia, we've seen the I Am Miss Master Olympia now. She has to bring it for this show, correct?
Yeah, I don't think she was in her best condition for that Masters Olympia because I actually had the second girl winning.
Oh, Roshana, don't listen to this.
But the only problem is the girl didn't know how to pose properly.
Yeah, she did not know how to pose.
She could do a lat spread properly, and I was wishing I could fix it through the screen, but I did because that girl's conditioning was bang on, right?
Yeah.
But it so Roshana has to bring in good conditioning. I mean, her legs are overpowering all the time with her physique. Like her upper body still is lacking in my eyes. Like looking at a body, yes, she's got that great tiny waist, big legs, but the upper body now needs to catch up with the physique to bring a whole overall package.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing with my eyes.
And one thing, posing for men and the women in all classes, it's extremely low for the level you put into your diet, your supplementation, some of the people are talking to, they're using like thousands of dollars on growth a month, but they can't even get a posing coach to fix their posing. So they lose. It's unbelievable. It's JB, it's really strange, is it not?
It's, I think it's ridiculous because posing is one of the biggest parts of bodybuilding.
To present your physique in the best way.
Yeah, and even the just mandatory poses have to be stay clear and very like the rule book. And yeah, sometimes I think one
of the brightest stars in the game, incredible condition. She's overcame some of the structure flaws with the conditioning, the most incredible condition. I've seen the pictures, JB. I can't show them because they're so shredded, we will get censored. Michaela, Janine, oof, this is what you call nasty conditioning, correct?
Yes, Michaela's always got that conditioning, that grainy conditioning. I know that last year they wanted her to come in a little bit softer.
No, I don't believe they did. I just said it to confuse people.
Sorry, but because they want that really feminine look. Unfortunately, if we go too grainy, sometimes we lose that femininity, and they still want that femininity in bodybuilding. It's true. Like that's what they want. But she's made huge improvements. I mean, I saw her down here in Tampa. She did extremely well. So yeah, it'll just be what can you compare to her, right?
Yeah.
So that's like an athlete that stands by themselves when you think about it, because there's no other. There might be one other person. There might be one other person. I can't think of her name, but she came second at the Olympia last year.
You talk about she's retired, Branca, correct?
No, she came second last year at the Olympia.
Angie Yao.
So like those two have the same height, the same kind of build.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll be those two. They both have good conditioning, right? But Michaela always comes in. She's got that look. She's known for that look, and she brings that look every time, and that's what she's known for, right? So I just see that they expect you to always come in that look.
But she's more shredded than ever. I'm just saying she has not 1 ounce. I've never seen such a shredded woman on the update, Big JB. So she's not changing her strategy, that's for sure.
No, she's being her, which you have to be you still at the end of the day.
Yeah.
JB, who has the most beautiful structure in women's bodybuilding other than Andrea Shaw, JB?
You and your questions. I'm biased. I'm biased.
Yeah, you're gonna say Koroblev or something, but the point is, Michaela, Ash, Janine, this is, if you want, this is all the things they want, isn't it? This beautiful round muscle bellies, tiny waist, feminine looking, know how to pose. Is this correct?
Yes, it's correct. But also she needs to come in tighter. She wasn't tight enough in Atlanta at all. I've seen her better than she was in Atlanta. Like Did you have
ACOC or her at that show?
That one, it was kind of like neck to neck. But I don't know what they were really I'm not the judge, so it's hard to see what they're really wanting to look for. And I was just looking kind of at the top 3 instead of all of them. But I know for sure they're wanting everybody coming tighter. It's like they're not at their best at the how do you call that, regional pro shows? I don't know what we call them. I would say regional pro shows.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't come in at at that 100%, right? They're missing something. And I think just Mila, sorry,
Yeah.
Mila, he just has to come in that little bit tighter.
Yeah.
Christina Nicole, speaking about condition, a girl that we wanted to bring the crazy condition, because if she did, she would be a major threat for any title. Did you think she did that at her win at JB? What was the show? Was it Chicago?
Yeah.
Do you see Christina's conditioning there? Is that Olympia top 3 level conditioning?
She has to come in better, even better for the Olympia. But I will say this, that was the best I've ever seen Christina look, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. But
Were you impressed
there's
with the progress?
always work to do, right? Like there's always a little bit more, but that was the best I've seen her look today.
We're going to talk more about her when we give our top 5. And the last 2 is Virginia, and it is Melissa Tech, JB. One of the most crazy condition in women's physique. Everyone was complaining, let's do women's bodybuilding. Let's do bodybuilding. You're so big. You're so big. She showed up in women's bodybuilding, Chicago. And I don't think I saw the same conditioning that I saw in women's physique. Am I wrong or am I mistaken, JB?
Yeah, you are right. It was not disappointing, but it was different than expected. I think a little bit the small changes in training and eating was the point. So yeah.
Did you see Janine, the extra size she carried for women's bodybuilding? Is that extra size in muscle, or is it just that she wasn't as tight as she was in women's physique?
I don't think she was tight enough as she was in women's physique. I mean, everyone thinks they have to be big, but again, they don't realize that when you're lean and in condition, you look bigger. So everyone is like, I need to be this size on off season. That means nothing. Like you need to better yourself each time. So if you come in a certain condition and say women's physique, and then you're crossing over to bodybuilding, you have to make sure all your muscle groups are developed. That means the lats all the way down to your lower back, not missing parts. And your conditioning has to be on point. It's not just about putting the size on and jumping into women's bodybuilding. I think they're missing that whole criteria of what the sport is truly all about. It's a full package. That means conditioning and everything has to be there.
We have, before we go into our top 5, everyone's going to give our top 5. Yes, JB, so you can start thinking. Virginia Sanchez, she placed 5th behind Julia with the best condition of the show in Spain, Janine. How do you, and she said she was disappointed, felt very disrespectful. How do you think she feels after placing 5th with that type of conditioning to athletes who were nowhere near, other than Jay Fuchs, her conditioning?
Okay, so then it goes like this. It's like, what is the look that's on the stage, right? The judges look, if there's only 2 people that are really good condition, they're not going to always have the 2 best condition. They're going to take the other ones and pull them up. And that's what athletes forget. You can look great by yourself, but when you're up against a whole whack of people, it all depends on how many bodies are looking a certain way. That's what they're going to call up. And that's what people forget in the sport is if there is 6 girls that are a little bit softer than you and you came in hard as a rock, doesn't mean you're going to win because it's your best shape you've ever done. They're going by what's in the pot. So one, there's no reason to feel kind of disrespected on that. You should be proud of the condition you came in because that's the best look you've brought to the stage to date. But with coming in that condition and then come and placing different, you got to look at it in a different way. You can't look at it that way and being disrespected because there's really no disrespect. They still honored her by putting her in that other spot, right? They could have just not put her up at all, which I've seen them do with pro athletes coming in over conditioned. They push her right to the back because there's 6 or 7 other girls that are softer, right? Does that make sense? Do you follow me with that?
Yes, it's just that when don't we have to reward the athletes that have brought the conditioning? And she's also a highly respect, like she some of the, anyway, Rising Phoenix.
It's a tough one.
It's a very tough one, JB. Yeah. We're not gonna I want to hear your opinion, then Janine and myself. Your top 6.
5.
Top 5. Oh, one thing. Andrea Shaw, Janine, before JB. Huh? How is anyone gonna beat her?
If she's off that day, right?
Very often.
Yeah.
So I said, like I said to even Nancy Lewis before I jumped on, I said, depends on if all the girls are in condition, it's going to be a huge battle, right? Like if.
Yeah, but she doesn't need to be in crazy condition, Andrea. We've seen it before.
Mm-hmm. It's just how stage presence and how everything comes together.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be.
Sandy Williams love Andrea Shaw.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. JB, your top 6. 5.
Okay, definitely in is Andrea, of course. I count on Angie Yo.
We haven't talked about her, but yes,
we did.
Hello.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, she's in. Michaela Aycock.
Okay.
I have Roshana Boswell.
4.
And I think, just for the prize and the great discussion, comment below, Virginia Sanchez.
Wow, this is a crazy list, but good.
Yeah.
Okay, and we did not talk about Sherry Priami, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Sherry Priami, quick before your top 5. What this is conditioning, Janine.
She's in a lot of conditioning. I mean, her conditioning is always on point. It's just, I mean, to make that waist look small, your shoulders have to come out wider. You know, that's the only thing, is the shoulders have to come out bigger and a bit more of a back, but to bring that waist in smaller. But her conditioning is always on point.
Your top 5 and why, Janine? JB said his. We will stop him from saying why, but he got his top 5. Janine, your top 5.
Okay. Andrea, is it Angela?
Angela Yao, yeah.
Mila. Sorry, I always say her name wrong, even in person, always. And then probably Michaela. And then I'm unsure for top 5. I'm kind of on the fence. It could be Roshana or it could be Leah.
Okay.
If she brings it in, like I think, you never.
We will see who is the expert. You said yours. I'm going to say Andrea Shaw. This is a guaranteed. Most likely she's going to win. Angie Yao. I think I have her second, but I think Christina Nicole might get second. I have her in the top 3. You guys don't even have her in the top 5. I have no idea why. And I have.
Yeah, she could be. She could be in top 5 for sure. She would outbeat Roshana.
And then I will have, that's the top 3, and then I would have Michaela, because she beat Aycock, and I know Sandy liked that look, the feminine. You don't need to be that hard. She likes that look. She was rewarded last year with a 2nd place, and she wasn't peeled then either, but she was great shape. So I've her in the top 4, and then the top 5th will be either Sherry or Roshana for the top 5. That's my list.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll have to see.
Best posing award, JB. Quick, who's getting it?
I don't know the posing routines, so
No, but you have to predict. This is a prediction show.
a prediction show with the global.
Who do you have winning posing? Best posing?
One of my best friends, Julia Fury.
Who's going to win the best posing, Janine?
I don't know, because I haven't really watched any of them posing this year at all. So.
My point.
I'm going with Christina Nicole's winning best posing award.
She could.
Most muscular. JB.
Most muscular.
It's either be Andrea.
Jay Fucker. What's her other name? Julia.
Sorry, yeah.
Is it Julia?
Sorry.
Yeah, Julia Fury.
Yeah, Fury. I was thinking
Yeah.
of her last name for a second.
That's a good one. I have Julia Fury winning also because they don't want, Andrea Shaw gonna get the car and the money. Maybe it's 100,000. Let's give 5,000 to
Oh,
Julia.
it's Julia, yeah.
Come on now, Julia Fury, most muscular. And before we go, who is gonna surprise Janine? Who's gonna surprise us?
You know what? I don't know.
Nikki Charlton.
I really don't know who's going to surprise us.
You have Nikki Charlton, JB?
Surpriser, yeah.
I think, yeah.
You think Nikki?
Yeah.
JB has Nikki. I think I actually maybe fix my predictions. I think Chelsea Dion is gonna suffer. She's gone off Instagram, JB. She's pissed. She's heard people talking about her condition, and she's gonna surprise everyone. She's gonna be straight into the top 4. That's my prediction. So
she could. I mean, when an athlete gets come off, I mean,
It's not impossible. Yeah.
Impossible. Okay, before we go, Janine, say your last words before we end it.
I don't know. I think it's going to be a great show. I mean, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. It's different being on this side of the fence this year, watching. So it'll be different to watch it on the screen versus being there. So it's going to be a good show.
We are hoping. I'm praying. JB is hoping for a healthy recovery for you. A quick one.
Definitely.
Thank you. Me too.
And hopefully for a prediction show for the Olympia. Will you be there? Will you come on?
I will. I'm going to the Olympia this year to watch the show and stuff. But my goal is to be back on the Olympia stage next year.
That's a guaranteed, isn't it? We are doing New York Pro or Vancouver?
I can't go up to Canada. I just have to stay in the US. So we'll see how my season goes right now and see. I'd like to do an early show and then see, but I love to compete in Tampa too because it's home, right? So probably do 2 shows next year. See how it goes.
Thank you very much. And remember, girls, hit her up, Janine up if you want some professional advice and tips. And how are you good at making them? Of course you're good at it. Are you a good learner? A teacher, I mean.
Yes, I am. I teach everything differently depending on how someone learns. So I have many different techniques on how I do it. I teach them how to pose properly, all divisions, men and women, and choreography as well.
And with that, JB, we are. Yes.